All right, Mr. Harris, I see everyone except for Miss Lawson at this point. So we'll just give her another minute until we start.
Okay. Eddie, are you hosting?
Are you hosting?
Steve and I are co-hosts right now.
Okay.
Would you like me to switch it to anybody else? Do you want?
No, good.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Says my connection is unstable, so that should be.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you, Mr. Harris.
I don't know what's happening.
It's gonna get better. That was the worst it'll be, and it's gonna get better. I'll put it out there.
You have no scientific basis for that, do you?
None whatsoever.
Positive affirmation. Speak it into existence. That's the answer.
Amen. Speak it into existence.
Hey. Yeah.
It's
saying I'm unstable. I'm trying to say myself as a joke here, but it says I'm unstable, so they're not.
I'm gonna mute you while you try to figure that out.
Okay.
Yours has been freshly rebooted.
Yeah, I just did. It's like Zoom looks different. No, it was when Eddie was speaking, but you can tell my mouth is moving slow. Late.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I don't see Miss Lawson on the list, but we may have her shortly. Mr. Harris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay, so that being the case, I call to order the legislative meeting for the Woodland Hills School Board for the month of May 2020. Ms. Hawthorne, will you call the roll?
Mr. Graves? Mr. Graves? Okay. Ms. Felixson?
Present.
Ms. Lawson? Ms. Curry?
Here.
Ms. Strasbach?
Here.
Mr. Belmont? Mr. Belmont? Ms. Scott?
Here.
Ms. Hodge?
Here.
Mr. Belmont? Ms. Glasser?
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, do we have a moment of silence this evening?
No, we do not.
Okay, I know there was a passing of a father of one of our students this week, so I will ask that we take a moment of silence in memory of James Hensel. He's the father of Logan Hensel, a senior graduating this year. Thank you. The board met in executive session this evening, immediately preceding this meeting, and last week, following the agenda setting meeting, to discuss legal personnel and school safety matters as permitted by law. Mr. Harris, do you have announcements? Oops, I'm sorry, apologies. I skipped to the acceptance of the minutes. Is there a motion to accept the agenda and legislative meeting minutes from April?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Strasbach. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Graves. Questions, comments, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, Ms. Hawthorne, will you take the vote?
Yes. Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Ellison?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge?
Yes.
Ms. Strasbach?
Yes.
Ms. Glasser?
Yes. Is Mr. Belmont on the line at this point? I think I keep seeing him.
Okay. Mr. Belmont?
Yes.
Okay. My apologies, Mr. Belmont. I didn't get you.
No, I had a connection problem on my end.
Okay.
Okay. That moves us to announcements. Mr. Harris, do you have announcements this evening?
Yes. I would like to congratulate. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to congratulate our Forbes Road CTC graduates. They're at this time, it's not over yet. They're having a virtual certificate ceremony. And I'd like to congratulate all the 2020 graduates from the Forbes Road Career Technical Center. Today, we gave out from the Kylie Lynn McDowell Foundation the senior signs were delivered to the seniors' homes today. The foundation was created in 2016 to honor the beautiful life of Kylie Lynn McDowell, who passed away due to the catastrophic results of an undiagnosed Crohn's disease during her senior year at Woodland Hills High School. So today they funded the signs for all of our seniors, and they were delivered today. Please join us for our interactive Zoom meeting this Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. The administration would like to introduce you to our prospective intermediate principal, Dr. Christina Kurt. There's a link to our website. There's a link on our website to join the Zoom meeting. It's Thursday, tomorrow, May 21st at 6 p.m. It's a community meet and greet to ask questions of this prospective future principal here in the district. Also, please go to our district website, whsd.net, for all updates for graduation and anything else that's happening right now. So please go to the district website for the graduation updates. There is a timeline and an addenda for all graduating seniors, so please go to that to get your information about our graduation ceremony that will be occurring. That's all that I have.
Okay. I just want to second the announcement about the Kaylee Lynn McDowell Foundation. That was a pretty neat event today, and it was great to see a lot of participation and volunteers to pass out those signs. And also, on behalf of the board, express our congratulations to our Forbes Road graduates. It's quite an accomplishment to earn the certificate from that institution, as well as a diploma from our school. So congratulations to all of them. And thank you to Forbes Road for honoring them this evening. Does anyone else have announcements? Okay. Seeing none. I don't believe we have any student speakers this evening or presentations. And I don't see any registered speakers either. Is that correct, Ms. Hawthorne?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Mr. Harris, that moves us to board matters.
Ms. Glasser,
Yes, Mr. Belmont.
I'd like to make a motion that we consider the agenda as a consent agenda.
Is there a second to the motion that we consider a consent agenda again this month?
Second.
Second by Ms. Strasbach. Any conversation about that motion? Okay, all in favor of considering the items tonight as a consent agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, so we'll do that. Mr. Harris, do you want to review the tabs before we make that vote?
Okay, so I'll read through all of them.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, board matters 2.1, first reading of revised policy 249, bullying, cyber bullying. 2.2, we seek approval of Jamie Glasser, Terry Lawson, and Sharday Seligson as voting delegates to the PSBA 2020 Delegate Assembly. Curriculum 3.1, we seek permission to approve summer curriculum writing postings. 3.2, we seeking authorization and approval of all Title I school parent and family engagement policies. 3.3, we seek authorization to partner with Carlow University School of Social Work to provide 2 master's students to assist in pre-K and kindergarten enrollment. 3.4, we seek permission to authorize summer school for the 2019-2020 school year. Special education, 4.1. Special Education Office seeks approval to renew the contract with Wesley Family Services for 3 therapeutic classrooms for the 2020-2021 school year at a service cost of amount of $284,370. 4.2, we seek approval to renew our contract agreement for the 2020-2021 school year with Avena Care Unlimited, Inc. for a contracted amount of $45 an hour for RN services, $40 an hour for LPN services, and/or $24 per hour for home health aid services, paraprofessional services from General Fund 10. 4.3, we seek approval of the CRNP contract for physician-based service for the 2020-2021 school year. Personnel, 6.1. Section A, authorization for leaves. Section B, authorizations for retirement resignation. Section F, authorization for EDR mentor actions. Section G, authorization for miscellaneous. Technology, 7.1. We seek approval to renew support on the data center Cisco phone system at a cost of $14,562.27 from General Fund 10. 7.2, we seek approval to renew our annual subscription to Snap Health Center at a cost of $4,680 from General Fund 10. 7.3, we seek approval to accept the AMCOM proposal for outside printing services. 9, food service transportation. 9.1, we seek approval of the nutrition contract for food service for the 2020 to 2021 school year. This is the final renewal of this contract we entered into on July 1, 2016. That included a possible 4 renewal years pending state approval. 9.2, we seek approval of the renegotiated transportation rates agreement with our transportation providers for the remainder of the 2019-2020 school year due to COVID-19 early school closings in substantially the same form as attached. Buildings and grounds, number 10. 10.1, we seek approval of the annual district water treatment servicing supports of the boiler systems at the 3 elementary buildings and the administration building. Cost of $1,200 from General Fund 10. 10.2, we seek approval of proposed GC-012 for Nello construction for the Dixon School totaling $150,000 from Fund 39 capital projects. 10.3, we seek approval of Shipley Brothers Plumbing for the Dixon School totaling $21,800 from Fund 39 Capital Projects. 10.4, we seek permission to approve field turf to install a new soccer field and new track at the high school. CoStar's proposal contract number 014-173, recreational and fitness equipment at the cost of $790,198.76 from Fund 39 Capital Projects. 10.5, we seek permission to approve Musco Lighting to install new soccer lights at the high school. CoStar's proposal contract number 008119, MRO at the cost of $345,605 from Fund 39 Capital Projects. 10.6, we seek approval to move forward to get bids for the repairs at the Wolverine Stadium once we receive the bid specs from Macer Consulting. And 10.7, we seek approval to accept from Mealy Mechanical LLC donation for Edgewood Elementary STEAM Academy new sidewalk ramp to the playground. Finance, 13.1. We seek ratification of the bill list for invoices paid after their April 15, 2020 legislative meeting. 13.2, we seek approval of the May 2020 bill list. 13.3, we seek the acceptance of the April 2020 fund reports and student activity reports for informational purposes. 13.4, we seek approval of the investment reports for April 2020. 13.5, we seek approval of the Forbes Road CTC operating budget for the 2020-2021 school year. 13.6, we seek to reappoint Valerie Shaver as treasurer effective July 1, 2020. And 13.7, we seek approval of the proposed final budget for the 2020-2021 school year and Resolution 549-20 authorizing its display and advertising. Superintendent, 14.1, we seek approval to enter into agreement with Roxamore Sports Network for their, this was already approved.
We voted.
This was approved last floor meeting.
Yes, it was. It was. We approved that last week during the agenda meeting, so that one can be
Excluded.
yes.
Okay, 14.2, we seek approval to enter into agreement with Early Bird Childcare for the 2021 school year. 14.3, we seek permission to enter into agreement with Thomas Crone for the 2020-2021 through 2023 through 2024 school year. 14.4, we seek to ratify to accept a grant from the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture to support the Jump with Jill assemblies at Turtle Creek and Edgewood STEAM Academies. 16, new business, 16.1. We seek approval of the attached resolution from PSBA, resolution calling for the General Assembly to provide critical support and mandate relief benefiting public schools and students. That's the end.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second? Moved by Mr. Belmont, second by Ms. Strasbach. Any questions on any of the items or any items that board members wish to have pulled to be voted on independently?
Well, there's one I don't agree with. Should I state that?
If there's one tab on which you would like to, on which you will vote no, that should be pulled from the consent agenda so that we can vote on it separately.
Yeah, 13.7.
Okay. 13.7 is the proposed final budget. So we'll vote on that one separately. Any others that we'd like to pull? Any questions on any of the other tabs? Okay, hearing none, can we take the vote on the consent agenda, which will be all the tabs with the exception of 13.1.
It would be,
Mr. Graves?
hold it, it would be, they're not voting on 14.1 and also you're not voting on 13.7.
Correct. Yes. So the motion on the floor is to approve all of the items on the agenda with the exception of item 13.7 and item 14.1. Because 13.7 has been removed to be voted independently and 14.1 was approved last week.
Okay.
Is that correct, Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Okay, good. Last time, any questions, discussion on any of the items? Okay. Seeing none, Ms. Hawthorne, will you take the vote?
Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Ellickson?
Yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge?
Yes.
Ms. Strasbach?
Yes.
Mr. Belmont?
Yes.
Ms. Glasser?
Yes. Motion carries unanimously. Is there a motion to consider item 13.7, the proposed final budget?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Belmont. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Strasbach. Questions, discussion on that item?
Mike, would you like to just give a couple of the highlights so people understand that there's a tax increase included? Other highlights that you would think are worthy of mentioning?
Sorry, I need to interrupt for 1 second. Ms. Hawthorne, Ms. Lawson has joined the meeting. Would you please include her in the previous vote?
Okay. Do I need to say it again?
Yes, you'll need, just ask for Ms. Lawson's vote on that, would you please?
Ms. Lawson? Is your vote to approve the consent except for 13.7 and 14.1?
Yes, was my answer. I apologize.
Is Gigliotti on?
Thank you.
Hello? Can you hear me? Oh,
Yes, thank you.
all right.
Apologies, Mr. Gigliotti. Back to Mr. Belmont's question. Mr. Gigliotti, do you want to address the budget question?
Sorry, I had mute on. I thought it was off. Okay, we're seeking approval of the proposed final budget so that we can make this formally available to the public. It will be advertised in the newspaper and put on display on the website, and a hard copy will be at the administration office. The budget as it stands right now does include a millage increase to the index of 0.8877 mils. There's a projected carryover fund balance from this year of $4.8 million. Currently, some of the highlights of the budget. Wages are increasing $1.4 million. Your FICA retirement, more so retirement, are increasing $671,000. There's a decrease of $139,000 in supplies, books, and utilities. Currently, an increase of $500,000 in special ed services. There's a small $34,000 currently increase in transportation services. We have a decrease in this budget of $907,000 in charter school tuition, and another decrease of $450,000 in unemployment comp because of no one being furloughed this year. And there is an increase of $210,000 in equipment replacement. Some of the budget reductions that were made, we basically are going to go into next year without a budgetary reserve. We usually carry a $500,000 budgetary reserve. That there's no way to fund that, so $500,000 has been eliminated from the budget. And increases to the budget, we have some equipment requests, new band uniforms, and a new band trailer, totaling $80,000 for both of them. We have an increase in Peaceful Bus wages of $107,000. We're adding back $426,000 for substitute teachers, $80,000 in maintenance supplies and equipment. Overall, there's a reduction, but there was $80,000 added in for maintenance supplies, and an increase of about $230,000 in security services. Currently, with the downturn in the economy, we're holding flat the basic ed subsidy from the state to the same level that we're receiving in the current year, 2019-20. So anticipating no increase in that funding. Holding level also the special ed subsidy that we receive from the state. Because of the same reasons, the state the state's also going to take a hit next year, and we've had we're going to show a decrease of about $500,000 in real estate collections in anticipation of what may occur with the due job loss on the local side, and another couple $1,000 hit to earned income due to the layoffs that we've been experiencing. And we're also going to see a drop of $300,000 in interest earnings because the interest rates are no longer in the 2.5% range. They may end up, and there may be a further cut coming to that. They may end up in the 0.1 to 0.2 percent level, so like 0.25% basically. So those are the highlights of the budget. If there are any questions that I can answer other than that.
Mr. Gigliotti, just so everybody's clear on what is happening tonight, this is not
this is not the final budget. No,
this is the budget that we are adopting, correct? This is
no, this is not. This is the proposed final budget where we make it public. We've been making them public through the presentations, but this is where we formally adopt a proposed final budget, and we would be required to sign a cover sheet, prepare a budget in the state format on the PDE 2028, and submit it to PDE to meet the requirements of the school code. And also, this authorizes the advertising that we have done this in the newspaper. And this is not the final budget.
Okay, and there are time requirements. We have to have this posted for 30 days before we can vote on the budget.
Yeah, we have to have it. We have to have it on public display for 20 days, a minimum of 20 days. So by doing this, we will meet that requirement.
And last question that I have, just as a matter of clarification, there is the opportunity for us to consider things like the tax increase and not include those in the final budget, depending on how the board wills it. So there is this may not reflect the budget that is finally adopted.
Exactly. This does not reflect the final. This is still a working copy. We will have our finance committee meeting next Wednesday, where the board can review and question and make decisions on any cuts or modifications to the budget. And if the board so desires, they can call a budget meeting anytime. Besides that, between next Wednesday and the date of adoption, if they want to hold any other work sessions.
Okay, thank you. Other questions from board members at this point? This is an opportunity for board members to inquire. Not yet time for public inquiry.
I don't have any questions, just more so of a comment. I really wish that we had some deeper explanations during committee. And I'm actually going to vote no to this because I feel like, again, we're always kind of throwing out numbers and really not working it to our best ability, thinking of creative revenue, some other ideas in here other than always increasing the millage. I know it's a very small amount. I know we can liken it to a cup of coffee, but it seems like this is one particular thing that we always do. I know this is not set in stone. We can still work this out, but I just feel like it's very frustrating to always see this. So I'm hoping we have our committee next week, and we have some time to really think about things before we make a vote. But this is very agitating. And I say this as a taxpayer, and I say this as I feel like a seasoned board member at this point. I just really wish we'd had some other options other than taxing our people to death. So that's my personal opinion.
Thank you. Other comments from board members?
Jimmy, can we have an individual budget meeting for discussion, even after a committee, or besides just a committee meeting?
We certainly can, particularly because committees next week are going to be, as they always are, very full. That will make sense. I will send an email to members and key administrators after tomorrow and see if we can find a date for that in early June.
Yeah, I will need to, just as long as I have enough time to advertise it, with the paper only publishing on Friday and Saturdays, I will need to know by Wednesday of the week what day so I can have it advertised. That's all.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mr. Gigliotti, and we will get that. We'll get that squared away. I can't imagine we would be able to do that before the first week of June. So we will. I'll get that. We'll get that together as quickly as we can. Other comments, questions from board members?
I have a question.
Okay.
Mike, does your proposed budget include any teacher furloughs?
No, there are no furloughs in this budget at this time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seeing no further questions from the board, Ms. Hawthorne, will you take the vote, please?
Yes. Ms. Seligson?
No.
Ms. Scott?
No.
Ms. Lawson?
Yes.
Ms. Curry?
Yes.
Ms. Hodge?
Yes.
Ms. Stroxbach?
Yes.
Mr. Belmont?
Yes.
Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Ms. Glasser?
Yes. Did you call Ms. Lawson?
Yeah, I got Ms. Lawson. Mm-hmm.
I apologize. I did hear that.
She voted yes.
Yes, I did hear that. I apologize. Can't read my own notes. Okay, motion carries 7-2. And that, I believe, moves us to old business. Is there any old business? Any additional new business? I don't believe we have reports, but we do have committee meetings next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, 5 o'clock. They will be via Zoom, as our meetings will continue to be until we are in green phase, I believe. Is there anyone, this is the opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board at this time?
I would.
Yeah, Dr. Coluccio.
Okay.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm Kate Coluccio, Swissvale Library Director. And I wanted to let you know that libraries in Allegheny County are all working together to create a plan for, and it's in collaboration with the State Library Association, to have opening with curbside delivery starting June 15th. So staff is coming back to the library next week. There's a whole bunch of stuff to get done to start that because the whole system has been paused for 2 months. So books are in other places. They have to get shipped around. Various things have to happen. So we'll be starting that next week to get the plan real clear. And then on June 15th, curbside delivery. What? Sorry, what?
I don't believe that was for you. I don't believe that was for you.
Oh, sorry. And then sometime after that, when we're farther into the yellow zone in Pennsylvania, we'll have limited doors open service with people expected to wear masks and keep 6 feet distance, and staff will be as well. And once the state starts the green zone, we will have, the library will reopen. And again, we'll still be expecting people to be taking proper social distancing and probably mask wearing even at that time, if that's still required. So that's what's going on at Swissvale Library. I'm collaborating closely with all the other library directors, especially Rachel and Aaron from C.C. Miller and Braddock. The other thing that relates to you is that summer reading by order of the state is digital, and there will not be in-program summer reading programs this year. They'll be online. We'll also be providing activity packets, and I think that where we'll provide them is to the summer lunch program. So I'll talk further about that at another time. Any questions?
This wouldn't be a time to take questions during public.
Sorry.
It's okay. But certainly if anyone has questions, we can share those via email as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Is there any other member of the public who wishes to address the board at this time? Okay, seeing none, Mr. Harris, we move us to adjournment.
Jamie, I have a question really quickly before we close out.
Sure.
I had on my calendar and on the website, it says that next week's committees, it's all committees on the 26th. You had just said we were meeting Tuesday and Wednesday. Can you clarify?
We had initially scheduled that for one night as a result of athletic awards. However, I think
okay.
The number of things that we have going on, we should probably change that. Mr. Gigliotti, do we have time to make that advertising change?
The ad actually is already out there. It says we're sticking to Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's already out there.
Okay, so we are okay.
Yeah. We just need to update the website
okay.
then.
Okay, Mr. Muter.
Yeah, the only thing is the website. Yep.
Mr. Muter, if you would make that correction to our normal schedule, thank you for that, Ms. Scott, for catching that.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Muter, if you make that change, we would appreciate it. Anyone else have questions? Anyone else wish to address the board? Any other comments? Okay. In that case, Mr. Harris.
Okay, 19.1, we seek permission to adjourn the May 20, 2020 legislative meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I apologize. Who made the motion?
Mr.
Mike.
Belmont.
Belmont moves, second by Ms. Seligson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, thank you all very much. See you at committees next week.
Okay, thank you.
Good night, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night.
Thanks, everyone.